Hello, everyone. Welcome to this NHLRumors.com video looking at the Stanley Cup playoffs and looking at the players that can make an impact for teams in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference from the NHL trade deadline. First up, the Eastern Conference, and it's a series based on the website work that's been up, my work looking at these players that were moved at the deadline in the East and in the West, and potential guys that, may fly under the radar as well. So we'll get to that in a minute as well. But let's start off with the East. Let's start with the Carolina Hurricanes. And yes, we know the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. The Carolina Hurricanes are up 2-0 over the New York Islanders. One player, probably the hottest guy that was at the deadline that could be moved, was from the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was Jake the Snake Getzel. He goes to Carolina. Tom Dundon, that management, they decide a change of direction is needed. They bring him in. You knew he was going to make an impact. Already got a couple of points for the Carolina Hurricanes, 61 points in the playoffs now, including his time with the Carolina Hurricanes. You knew he'd make the most impact. He's just a playoff type performer. You saw what he did in 2022 with the Penguins, led the team in goals. You saw what he did in their run to the Stanley Cup in 2017. He's stepped up when it matters the most. So Getzel, to me, number one guy, especially for the Carolina Hurricanes. Then you go over to the Florida Panthers, Vladimir Tarasenko, another guy, big-time playoff performer. You know what he did with the St. Louis Blues in 2019. You saw what he did with the Rangers last year. This dude's got 14 points in 19 games with the Panthers this year. He also has 64 points in 97 playoff games. So this guy knows how to step up. And like I said, he was one of the leading point getters for the St. Louis Blues. He also led the team in goals in their 2019 run to the Stanley Cup, where they knocked out the Boston Bruins. So he knows what it takes to win in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Panthers are up 1-0 on the Lightning. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Lightning, they have two players. One guy, Anthony Duclair, he's on the board, points-wise for this team. He's made an impact. Same with Matt Dumba. He was on our honorable mention list. But Matt Dumba is there as well. And look, you got to love what those guys bring, the energy, newfound belief in this team. They love what they bring to the table. And look, it's great to see for these players, right? They get some things done. They have this newfound energy, and the Lightning, they need these guys, right? Duclair adds something, depth down in their third and fourth lines. He made an impact, with 12 points in 20 career playoff games. He had 15 points in 17 games with the Lightning. Matt Dumba's just depth down the middle, but depth on the back end, and he can help out as well. Because you're going to need depth defensemen, right? You always need depth defensemen, and Dumba's been there. He was there with the Minnesota Wild. Yes, they didn't win, but he has playoff experience, and this is what this team needs. So those are my impact trade deadline playoff players from the Eastern Conference. I'll be back again for a Western Conference video as well. Take care. This has been Jim Berenger, NHLRumors.com.